Hi, welcome to my new YouTube channel, Shannon's Book Nook. This is actually my first video, and I'm pretty excited to talk about some of the books that I want to read for my June TBR. I don't have a fun game that I play to make my TBR. I kind of just base it on what I feel like reading in that month. So it's kind of like I'm a mood reader, but I also have to set a TBR to kind of give myself a focus point. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so I am actually, and it is June 3rd already, and I'm making this video. So we're already in the month of June, and I have already read two books. The first one that I read was We Used to Live Here by Daniel Hurst, which was a thriller that I listened to on my way to visit a friend's family. We just picked an audiobook that was short to listen to on the way. It was a good time. We predicted it was kind of like one of those throw it out there theories that we had, and then it ended up happening, and we were just like, "How did that happen?" So, yeah, it was a fun read. It was a good time. The other one I read was a arc that I needed to read before tomorrow, because it is pub day for this book. It is a book that I got from NetGalley, and it's called Triple Sec by TJ Alexander. This is actually a LGBTQIA plus book. It is focused on polyamory, which I have actually never read, and I enjoyed it. If you would like to check out my review for that instead of waiting around for that review to be posted in a vlog or anything like that, you can check out my Instagram page because it's actually already posted. So I am currently reading Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. I am on page 136, and I'm having a really good time with this. Delilah cracks me up, and Claire is so sweet, and she's so soft spoken. I'm hoping there will be a lot of character development for both of these characters. It is told in a dual POV. I don't want to go into too much detail about this because that's not why I'm here. I want to talk about the books I plan on reading. So if you want to hear more about this, be sure to follow along, okay? The next book I have is In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. I absolutely love TJ Klune's books. House in the Cerulean Sea was one of my favorite books a couple years ago. Absolutely loved it. This was actually recommended to me by a friend for my 12 books recommended by 12 friends. And I found this stunning edition at Barnes and Noble. It was on the buy one get one half off table, and I was like, I can't resist. I know this is I almost said a Pokemon. It's not a Pokemon. It is a Pinocchio retelling, and I am super excited. TJ does such a good job about um, writing cozy fantasy. So I am so ready to read this one. The next one I have on my TBR was a random pick at half price books. I was, going up and down the aisles and I saw this and I was like, you know what? I've read a book by this author before and I really enjoyed it. So let me let me read this one. This is A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. Alexis wrote Boyfriend Material, which I read a year or two ago, and I really enjoyed it. So I wanted to check this one out, and it's set in historical romance times, so Regency times, but the lady is trans, and so I was like, interesting. I want to see how this works out in historical times. So I am ready to read that one too. My next book is actually an ebook. I have a couple of ebooks, and I'm going to pull out my phone real quick, so hang on. All right, so the first one I have as an ebook is You and I Rewritten, and this is by Chip Pons. This is a male romance. I know it deals with some heavier topics because I know there's like a content warning in the beginning about grief. So I'm not usually triggered by a lot of things, but grief can be, it really depends on what we're talking about. So I'm excited about that one. I have a friend who read it over on Instagram and she absolutely adores this book. She recommends it all the time. And it, she's got me obsessed. I want to read it. Okay. The next book that I have on my list is Love at 350 Degrees. It is by written by Lisa Pierce, and this is a sapphic romance. And I believe there is a baking competition in this one, which I'm always intrigued when we include food in books. I love those kind of books. So I was like, yeah, sign me up for that one. We got a baking competition here. The next one I have is Salt Kiss by Sierra Simone. This one is, if I remember correctly, a male, female. There's that kind of element. It's a throuple, I believe. And I love Sierra Simone. She knows how to write. She knows how to write some good spicy scenes. So I'm excited for that one. Next, we have my book club pick, which mistakes were made. Okay. I'm going to acknowledge that now. Mistakes were made in making these decisions. In May, we read Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole, and we met at the end of May. We talked about the book and we were obsessed, and we were so excited to go into book 2, which is Glow of the Everflame. Okay. This is the Kindred's Curse saga. Like I said, this is book 2. It's by Penn Cole. Book 2 is a decent size. Okay. We're sitting at, and I don't want to spoil myself, so 594 pages. So almost 600 pages for book 2. Okay. My group decided, my book club, book 2 apparently ends on a pretty crazy cliffhanger. So they decided to include book 3 as well. So not only are we reading book 2 in June, we're reading book 3, which, look at this, y'all. It is probably close to 800 pages. Yeah. Yep. 761. So we are reading both of these huge books. I'm kind of scared. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna finish both of these. Luckily, I did find the audiobook on Audible for this. It was like $7.99, and I was like, heck yeah, let me buy that, and I'll read it like that. The Audible book for this one, for book 3, was like $60, and I was like, no, I'll read it with my eyes. No, I'm good. $60 for an Audible. Praise Jesus. Mm-mm. So I am very excited to get back in this series and learn what happens, because book one does leave us on a little bit of a cliffhanger, but apparently it's not as intense as the end of book 2. So I'm excited to find out what happens. Then we're into my 24 in 2024. So the 24 books that I picked at the beginning of the year that are physical books that I want to read. I want to read them so I can either put them on my shelf and keep them, or get rid of them, like get them out of my house. Because some of these physical books have been sitting on my bookshelf for a couple years now. So the first one is Too Late by Colleen Hoover, which this will most likely be my last book that I'll read by Colleen Hoover. Don't come at me, okay? I know we got a lot of Coho fans in the book community, but I have found in the past that sometimes co-host books can make me go into like a mental health spiral. I don't even know what to call it. I don't even know how to describe it. Like I wouldn't say that I'm triggered by the content. Maybe I am. Maybe that's exactly what's happening. But yeah, I have to be very careful with her writing. She does a phenomenal job. She's an amazing author. But yeah, I have to be careful. So this one is a psychological suspense novel of obsession and love, dangerous love. Okay. So this was actually originally an indie book, and it was said to be very dark, um, especially for a coho book. And I was intrigued because I do love me some dark romance. But by the time I got around to buying it, it had been picked up. And it got picked up by Grand Central Publishing. Okay. So I have a feeling that some things have either been changed or taken out. So I want to see if there's like a content warning list. Okay. So there is a note from Colleen Hoover, and it says, "Dear readers," I'm not going to read everything, but I'm going to read what I just read. Um, I never intended to release it because it's nothing like the other stories I write. It's morbid and vulgar, but it was a fun escape when I'd find myself stuck on the sweeter material I was writing. And then later it says, now that the book is being put on actual bookstore shelves with the help of Grand Central Publishing, I wanted to revisit it and rework some of the content. Yeah. Because of the way the book was written and released, there are things I would have changed had it ever gone through a professional edit. I've done my best to keep the original characters and story intact, but I have taken liberty to adjust some scenes, delete some scenes, and even added a few things. So yeah, I'm wondering if the scenes that were so triggering to some people are even still in here, since it's going through like an actual publishing group. So we'll see. The next book I have is Gothicana by Runix. I think that's how you say that. This is a dark academia book, and ooh, look at that. That is, I love that little illustration in there with the little quote from the Addams family. Black is such a happy color. As far as I know, this is, I know, all I know is really that it's a dark academia book. I've heard mixed things. It doesn't look like it's going to take very long because the writing in here is pretty big. And it is, ooh, that last picture right there of the spiral staircase. There are some beautiful photos at the end. Wow. Giving the aesthetic. I mean, like, wow. So trying to find the end of, there we go. Okay, 456 pages. So I am hoping to get to that one. That one has actually been on my, that's also a 24 in 2024 book that I want to read. So I'm hoping to get that one read. I also have a lot of e-book arcs from NetGalley that I need to get to. I have no idea how I'm going to get through all of these books, y'all. No idea. The panic is setting in, for real. So there's a bunch of ebook arcs that I need to get to, and also if you see this bookshelf, my top shelf is empty because the books are sitting right next to me. It's like my top priority TBR. And then this second shelf, just this little corner right here, because the other part, like down here, are DVDs. But this little section right here are books that are sent to me, um, physical books that are sent to me by a imprint of Simon and Schuster, and I have read one of those books, and I'm really hoping I can get to at least one or two more uh, by the end of the month. The one that I really have my eye on is The Eyes of the Queen by Oliver Clements. It's an Agents of the Crown novel, so it is part of a series, and they did send me book 2 and 4, I think. 2 and 4. I don't have 3, I don't think. So I want to get caught up because I think, or maybe they sent me 1, 2, and 3, and book 4 comes out soon. Anyways, um, I want to get that started, and I need to get caught up on those physical books because I gotta do my I gotta do my due diligence to get that stuff done in a timely manner. Since they send those books to me for free, which I really appreciate and love that they do that. So yeah, those are the books. Let's see if I can get this stacked for you and without it all coming crumbling down. I have a feeling this is gonna fall over. Okay. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Here's the stack. Oh yeah, that's just the physical books. That's not even that is not even all of the ebooks that I need to get read. So, wish me luck. And don't forget to like if you liked this video. Thank you for sticking around this long. If you did stick around this long, leave me a flame emoji for Glow of the Everflame. And if you would like to stick around, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Thank you, y'all. Have a good day. Bye.